Um, in that same spirit, I was thinking about what's my salvation, and I feel like checking in is something that I don't do often. Like I'm really hard on myself. I'm hypercritical, but then I'll have like one of those years where I'm like, fuck, I didn't do anything, and then I look back, I'm like, oh shit, a lot of stuff has happened. I just like woo woo. Oh damn, yeah, that's a difference. And like I just don't like check in. So I think right now my salvation is like being nicer to myself and less self-shaming and more like you came a long way, and it's really dope that like this is sort of a motif now. So yeah, I'm gonna do poems that I wrote in high school, and like it's gonna be interesting coming out of this mouth. Cool. He say I take southern pulls, long, slow, low drags that leak from my lips, a dragon's tail, and I laugh. Think about my southern black boys in the back of woods, rolling backwoods west of a farm that used to own black backs whose skin has been licked and lashed, peeling like a blunt. But those boys are living in the present, twisting fingers around the cylindrical body of a cigar, gutting the feathered insides to make space for a dime or dub, depending on the grandeur. At least 5 times a week, I spend $6 or $7 on a 5-pack of backwoods, then wonder why there isn't some sort of retribution system. The tobacco industry, breastfed from the teat of brown women, all of whose children have been dashed against the bark or lessened out of being. So many industries and edifices we built in only to be served as servants or serfs, and then we wonder why they call cotton the fabric of our lives. Word. Made it through that poem. Shout out. We're gonna whip the phone out for this next one though. Also, if anyone is like a seamstress or knows a thing or two about hand sewing and also has access to a laminator, let's talk later. I've been making wallets out of backwoods, and like we can like do a thing. Yes, we can do a thing. Word. This poem is about one of my best friends. I wrote this in the 11th grade. It's 4 something in the morning, and there's at least 3 different drugs gurgling through my veins, and everything feels like velvet, except for the hand of the boy who is not mine, parentheses, I am also not his, and we're skating through a city small enough to notice if we go missing. Nothing about this is really real, and that is the most important part. Thanks to herb, Hennessy, and a handful of hallucinogens, we get to be people, not men, not a metaphor for something deeper, just 2 niggas with enough night to compensate for shit we never say sober. So shout out to the apartment, to the men meant to fall apart, for the blunts that split like apart and open up a whole new world. The boy whose hand is just another hand is sometimes a fuckboy, but is one of my best friends, is one of the many loves of my short-lived life. The boy is my brother, no incest, just incense, just some NSYNC boy band butterfly in the gut bullshit, just some young niggas trying hard to learn love in a language that don't always have to come with luggage. Sweet. The next poem I do is like quick call and response, and I used to do it and not say the person's name, but like they're intolerable and awful and may deserve this wherever the energy is sending out to them. Woo woo. I'm very woo woo. Like I empathize or like relate to like dripping water down the towel or like leaving down the stairs or leaving water by you while you sleep. Do that shit. Like catch those spirits. But yeah, this person is like turned into a great poem. When I say grown, can you all say growing? Grown. Growing. Grown. All right, do that for 2 minutes. It is the summer of 7th grade, and I am grown. Growing. Jonathan Derbala's daddy is a freelance construction worker. His mama is a heavy sleeper. These 2 facts are very relevant because I happen to be sneaking past his mother's bedroom, out of the house, minutes before morning. I get home to my own place, 7 a.m., 13-year-old kid, my whole ass beat by my mom, but it's fine. It's a small price to pay, really, because that night, while Jonathan DeBala's daddy slept sound and his mom constructed buildings, I learned a touch for every thought. All of my imaginations grew mouths and hands and touch. Best believe that that was worth the ass whooping. It is the end of 8th grade and I am grown. Me and JD are caught holding hands underneath the table because across the room, bug-eyed, gap-toothed Marcus spots us, then yells, "Oh, shit, y'all niggas dating?" With genuine fascination, JD and I are eye to eye, and his face, shit, his face is a coward's face. His face says treason. His face says, if we are drowning right now, I'm using your body like it's a buoy. I open my mouth, but only after he can say, "Tom do gay shit like this all the time," recoiled from me as if my skin were suddenly scales. I am sinking in a sea of shame and drowning in his shallow water, can feel his boot on my back. I'm barely breathing, bobbing like a buoy. Now, it's the last week of 12th grade, and I am definitely fucking grown. JD comes up to me for the first time in 4 years because he wants to say that he's sorry, says he's going to military later on and wants to know if we could mess around again. And somewhere in the small, hormonal, drooling, insecure animal of myself, I want to be like, yeah. But then I remember that I'm grown. That in the past 4 years, I glowed up like the morning sun. The severity at which I am popping will put his pelvis out of place. I am to him a full plate of fuck you. When you bite more than you can chew, nigga, you choke. I wanted to say all of that. But I am a much more confident poet than I am a person. So instead, I was like, nah, I'm all right. Just thought his body on fire. Thought his body collapsing in on himself, thought I could send you into a sea of shame, put my boot on your back, drown you in the shallowest waters, tell your story to the world. But then I remember I'm grown. Word. Thanks. My name is Tom Cap Her on Instagram. I was really trying to get some prints to sell because I'm broke as fuck, but you can follow me and we can like work together. I'm all for collective like bargaining. I need some art on my wall, so if anybody has like any cool things that they can teach me, jobs in the way, I'm not too proud to beg. I love you all. Have a good night.